You already know the answer. You do. That's the tiny moment, just before your mind jumps in, where you already know. And then a second later, you reach for your phone. Maybe you text a friend, maybe you ask ChatGPT, maybe you call your mom, or maybe you Google it one more time. I do it too, by the way. This isn't me standing above any of it. Actually, I caught myself doing it just a few weeks ago. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I knew my next step. And before I even let myself feel it, what did I do? I opened WhatsApp, of course. I wanted someone to agree with me. And halfway through typing that message, I stopped myself and I started laughing because I realized that I wasn't looking for advice. I was looking for permission. I was looking for permission to go there. I was looking for permission to do that next step. Have you noticed that you already knew before you ask a single person? I've been turning that 1 second over for days now. That tiny gap between knowing something and letting yourself trust it. And I really don't think that's why we go looking. We go looking for someone to tell us it's okay to know. And that's what I want to sit with you today. Hi, I'm Magdalena, and here we explore what your body is really trying to protect you from, so you can stop abandoning yourself and finally start understanding yourself. And by the end of this video, you might not have a new answer, but I promise you, you will finally see the answer you've been ignoring. So stay with me. Here's what I notice again and again in people that I work with. And if I look closely in myself as well. It almost never sounds like I don't trust myself. It's much quieter than that. It sounds like, let me just think about it. One more day. I see what my mentor says. I wait until I'm completely sure about that. And because all of that sounds very, very responsible, right? We never stop to question it. And sometimes I wonder whether what we call being responsible is actually fear, just wearing a really, really good mask. Because if you never fully decide, you never have to be the one who get it wrong. And you know what's interesting? No one ever came to me and said, Magdalena, I have no idea what I want. Never. What I hear is, I know, but. And I think my whole job lives inside that one little word, because most of the time we are not missing information. So many people who come to me, they already know. They know they need to leave. They know it's time to rise their prices. And they know that it's finally the time to start the thing they've been circling for years. They know. But knowing something and trusting yourself enough to act on it, those are two completely different things. And nobody tells you that. So you keep treating a trust problem like it was clarity problem. We go and we look for clarity. And it never really works. Because clarity was never really the thing that was missing. Someone I recently worked with felt it in their body long before they had any words for it. Her name is Marta, and she told me about a day she was hitting 200% of her targets at work. And she simply couldn't move. She literally said, I just can't move. Winning on paper and frozen inside of her own life. And then something occurred to me, and I'll be real with you because this one landed on me as much as anyone. Maybe we are not actually afraid of making a wrong choice. Maybe we are afraid of what we will say to ourselves if it doesn't work out. Because have you ever noticed that when something doesn't work out, you're not really upset that you failed. You are upset because of what you start saying to yourself afterwards. And that's the part that actually hurts. Not the decision itself, but the way we turn on ourselves afterwards. So when you freeze in front of a choice, you're not really weighing options at all. Maybe some quieter part of you is asking, if this goes wrong, will I be gentle with myself or will I make me pay for it? And if you already know the answer to that one, of course you can move, because the person we are most afraid of in almost every big decision is ourselves. This is why I ended up caring so much about the body, not only my thoughts. Because for years I was sure that I need to be more disciplined. I need a better strategy. I need a better marketing. And yes, it's all very, very important. But every time I got to a real decision, my body will freeze. And that's when everything changed for me, because it was never happening in my head. It was happening in my body. And if it was happening in my body, maybe my body needed to become a part of the way out. Because when your body learns somewhere back that getting something wrong isn't safe, it really doesn't matter how many books you read. Your body will keep reaching for certainty before it lets you move. And that's absolutely not because something is wrong with you. It's totally the opposite. It's your body doing its oldest job, trying to keep you safe. And I really want you to hear this, especially if you're sitting there and thinking, I don't even know how to begin trusting myself. You weren't born like this. No baby lies there wondering if it's really hungry or it's just being dramatic. It knows. It knows exactly, and it lets the whole house know it as well. But somewhere along the way, so many of us learned not to trust what we felt. And usually because at some point, trusting ourselves cost us something. Being close to someone, being loved, being supported. So of course some part of you decided that it is safer to go along with everyone else than to trust what you felt. It doesn't mean that there is a problem with you at all. It's actually something beautiful that you picked up because once it protected you. And it gives me so much hope. And I hope it gives you so much hope as well, because if you learn that, it means that you can learn something totally different as well. Can I tell you what I think self-trust actually is? Because it gets sold to us completely wrong. It's not walking around certain. It's not always getting it right. The people who trust themselves, they get things wrong all the time, same as everyone. The difference is what they do next. When it doesn't work out, they don't leave themselves. They don't spend the next 3 weeks building the case for why they mess. They stay. And maybe they say, okay, that didn't go how I hoped, but I'm still here and I'm not leaving. That's the difference. That's what self-trust actually is. Not always getting it right, just knowing that whatever happens, you're not going to disappear on yourself. And here's the part that I find so moving. That trust doesn't get built on your good days. It gets built right after your worst decision ever. When you still choose not to abandon yourself, that's when some quiet part of you finally learns, oh, it is safe to choose again. And this is what shifted for Marta as well. Not another strategy, not the perfect plan. She said, I think I was searching for myself. And then I had all the answers within me. I just needed to be guided back to myself. And that will stay with me forever because she really didn't need someone to hand her the answer. She just needed to trust the one that she was already carrying. So this week, please don't try to become someone who finally trusts themselves. That's too much. It is in the switch you flip. Instead, the next time you notice yourself reaching for your phone or wanting to ask 5 different people what they think, just pause, take one breath, and before anyone gets a vote, ask yourself, what do I already know? What do I already know? You don't have to act on it. You don't even have to be right, but just let your own voice speak first. Because I have a feeling it has been trying to guide you for a very, very long time. And if you would like to experience it rather than just think about it, every month I hold a free workshop called Life Beyond Survival Mode. It's a 19-minute, beautiful, life-changing experience where we don't talk about this anymore, but we help your body experience different. We help your body experience safety. So if it feels like the right next step for you, I would love to see you there. I would love to guide you. You will find the link below. And if you would like more conversations like this and more guided practices to help you reconnect with yourself, I would love for you to subscribe, to like this video. And yeah, until next time, I'm sending you much love. Namaste.